This is Herman Scuttle. I have a lot to say, and I'm saying it. Today, a new day opened automatically. A new day, announced by the stir of street traffic and morning rain. I was conscious. I could anticipate all of my needs. And, I'm still fit to chase a thrill. Now, at the coffee shop, I ordered espresso. And they brought me an instant Sanka. Well, I thought about coming back at night and setting the place on fire. Yes, I'm still fit to chase a thrill. And I know that getting dirty is as much fun as getting clean. It's automatic. Automatic like a new day. Like today. Started out cloudy and wet, but it's gotten to be nice enough. Nice until the new wore off. Anyway, it's good to see you. And thanks for dropping by. I mean that. This is an SRO. A single room occupancy. And I know that cute little nose of yours is about to sniff and shoot skyward because that social stratification voice inside of you is saying you shouldn't stick around. And doggone it, you wore your good clothes when you should have come in an old sweatsuit. Just relax. Come on, will you please? Relax. You'll have plenty of time when you get home to take a bath in Lysol and then run to the doctor's office for a tetanus shot. Look, we've got a nice community kitchen here, and we all share things here. Me and 12 other lodgers. Me and 12 other lodgers. And there's plenty of leftover mac and cheese in the fridge. Pop it right in the microwave. So you just come on. Sit down and interview me. I mean, you asked me for an interview after hearing me read my poetry the other night. You caught me reading my stuff over at, what do you call that? The Trendoid Center? Yeah. And I was in the same sloppy outfit that I'm wearing now. So, come on. If you're such a big wheel, the city's wonderful cultural maven, you might stay a while and appreciate the good culture that we have here in the rooms and the hallways of this cozy SRO building. Hey, you want a slice of Wonder Bread with your mac and cheese? Stay where you are. Just sit there for a minute. And then let me say something, and then I won't bother you anymore. Look, I was really, really tired and ticked off last night. I was having a bad day. I was in my nasty, short-fused state of mind. And yes, absolutely, you're right to say that my worst day is nothing compared to every day of your life. Okay. And look, I had no idea about anything about you. And I was in no mood to see somebody like you sleeping in the back of my car. Yeah, I forgot to lock it. So then it's basically my own damn fault. But being as spun out as I was from my bad day, I overreacted, and I barked at you. I said, what are you doing in the back of my car? I'm going to call the cops. And then down at police headquarters, I found out who you were. And I stopped the whole thing right then and there. And then I got you this room here over at the Mercy Seat Motel. And don't worry about any money or anything, or how long you can stay here. Because Lucas, he's the owner of this place, this motel. He owes me a lot of favors. And you're perfectly safe here. And as I said, stay here as long as you want. See, now when the cops told me that your name was Derek. I mean, you're of the female persuasion. And they told me Derek. And then, wait a minute, I took a closer look at you and I remembered this beautiful woman who named her daughter Derek after the Yankee shortstop. And that beautiful woman turned out to be your mother, who I was very close to. I know what happened to her, and I'm still sick about it. Yeah, if I was a better kind of a man, she wouldn't have had to push me out of her life, and maybe things would have lasted between us. Her personal tragedies after I was out of the picture might have never been allowed to happen if I was a better man with her. Maybe not. But I should have bit the bullet. I wish I had more guts. I had the chance to be a good stepfather for you. But I was weak. Now, this situation we have here can be like an out-of-the-blue second chance for me to lend you a helping hand from now on. Of course, if that doesn't fit into your logic of things, that's fine too. But give yourself a break for a few days here in this Mercy Seat Motel. I got you covered for all expenses. Okay, so I'm going to go now. You've got my number. You can call me for anything, anytime. And remember this. While we fight our demons, let's try not to become one. When we fight our demons, let's try not to become one. Hey, you want to hear a song? Yeah, a song. My song. I wrote a song the other night, and it's just for you. Here we go. When I was a kamikaze, doing what kamikazes do. When I was a kamikaze, doing what kamikazes do. You can bet your life I did it much better than you. When I was a crocodile down in the Everglades. When I was a crocodile down in the Everglades. I was creepy and fierce with teeth like razor blades. And I even was a virus doing what a virus does. And the whole wide world got sicker than it ever was. But I'm a lover, not a fighter. Baby, give me one more chance. I said I'm a lover, not a fighter. Give me one more chance. And come a little bit closer. All I want to do is dance. Yeah, I know you like that. I know you, and I know you like that song. Now, here comes Rose Ivansko's husband. And today, he's carrying a bucket and a scrub brush. And he dips the brush into the bucket of soapy water and begins scrubbing. I mean, right there among the gravestones in the Pittsfield Cemetery. He's washing the headstone of his beloved Rose Ivansko. Born 1971, died 2019. Now, he's a middle-aged widower and an eternal coward. Oh, yeah. This Rose Ivansko's husband, he's there saying, don't be mad at me, Rosie. I mean, I know you're mad, but I had to sell the house. See, 'cause they fired me over at the church. No, I ain't any kind of a pervert, and no, nobody's accusing me of being a thief or nothing. And I always did my job over there. I did my job good. I kept the church swept, swabbed, vacuumed, and dusted 7 days a week, always on call day or night. They called me Mr. Fix-It. Had my own set of tools. But then the pastor kicked me out. Yeah. Well, look, I fell asleep in the sacristy one night. I left the front door wide open and the church got vandalized. Okay, I had too much to drink, and I'm sorry about that. And yeah, this wasn't the first time. So now I can't work at the church anymore. And so I got desperate for money, and well, Rosie, I sold our house. So you're mad at me now. I know. Rose Ivansko's husband believes that death is no obstacle for them as soulmates. He trusts that their kindred spirits will stay united until the end of time. But the bedrock of his devotion is fear. And dead or alive, it's been fear that keeps him perpetually close to the late, great Rose Ivansko. So Rose Ivansko's husband dips his scrub brush into that bucket of soapy water again, and he looks for spots on the gravestone that he may have missed. And then it's time to just let nature take its course. If you're just tuning in, this is Herman Scuttle. I've got a lot to say, and I'm saying it. Now, a few hours in the woods the other day, that was about as good as it should be. I stuck to the familiar trails at the bottom of Mount Greylock. Moderate to fairly challenging trails, a lot of rocks, a lot of roots, There was the first wave of acorns and fallen leaves showed up on the path. There were jittery chipmunks, and they were bothered by my business, whatever business it was, me in the woods. The crows. The crows telegraphed their excitement with my orange shirt and my yellow hat. Some flies and gnats appraised my earlobes. But it was wild and wonderful as expected. As good as it should be. First week in September. You should have been there. But there was one big bother. The brooks weren't babbling. There was scarcely any movement of water. None of the usual gurgling flow snaking down the ravines from the heights of Mount Greylock. Yes, we had a season of drought this past summer. Alarmingly dry. Dog days of dehydration. And I said out loud, right there in the woods, the crows and the chipmunks and the acorns, out loud I said, "This can't continue, this drought. This can't continue, this drought." And then I found a clearing in the woods about 2 miles up the mountain, and I did a rain dance. I did a rain dance. Rhythms of improvisational mediocrity. A graceless swing and sway, sending out an SOS to the weather gods. And nothing really happened. Nothing of any significance as far as rain that we needed. But I did receive a bad reaction from my woodland audience. No, not the chipmunks, not the crows. It was the ghosts of the Mohicans. They saw my rain dance and they grunted and turned their backs on me. Now, how's your headache situation? You get headaches too? What do you do for your headaches? Well, unless you tell me face to face, I don't know. But I suppose I can make a blanket statement and say that we all get headaches from now and then. Some more than others, right? Okay. Well, the other night, I sat up in bed and I rolled my head to get rid of a headache. Middle of the night, a headache in the middle of the night. And it was right there in the middle of a dream. Midway through dreams about machine gun firefights. Huh? Yeah. And dreams of tidal waves. And dreams of making love to Helen Mirren. It was an MSG headache. You've had one of those, right? An MSG headache? Yeah. I got it from eating too much Hormel chili for supper. I ate it cold, right out of the can, with a plastic spoon. And that guaranteed the stab and the sting of noggin abuse. 2 o'clock in the morning. Don't try it. Well, I groped for the radio, and I got the classical station. It was playing Mozart's Piano Concerto No. 13 in C major, as you do. And on this particular radio broadcast, Maria Joao Perez was playing the piano. And now, under normal circumstances with normal people, normal circumstances with normal people like you and me, all that should have been enough. Mozart, played by Maria João Perez, yeah, that should have been enough to get rid of the headache. But it wasn't. No. And I was this close to giving up and self-executing. My kingdom for a guillotine! And beheaded, I would cradle my head and hold it until the pain stopped. And yeah, thinking back to that night with the headache, the pain did stop, more or less, as I recall. Time out of mind, time out of mind. You know, I don't know how much you follow me. I've been in other broadcasts before. Maybe you haven't caught me yet, but occasionally, as a result of my television broadcasts, I get unsolicited mail, letters, email, texts. I don't like it. I don't encourage it, but I get it anyway. I'll give you an example. Here's one from, who was it? A guy out of Sheffield. His name, Norm Van Touchdown. And he wrote to me, he said, Herman, not only have I never had a best friend, I've never even had a right-hand man. Well, Norm, there still may be time for you to find a left-hand woman. One from Great Barrington, from someone named Bella Palsy. Bella said, hey, Herman, I'm thinking of taking up skydiving. Is it really that difficult? Well, I would say the hardest part about skydiving is the ground. Kamala apostrophe from Lennox. She writes, Herman, can a snake impregnate a rabbit? Or vice versa, can a rabbit impregnate a snake? Yes, oh yes, and their babies will be jump ropes. A letter from someone named Tootsie Birkenstock from Lee, Massachusetts. Are raccoons bad animals? No, raccoons are okay. Actually, they are very good at following the current health protocols. They wash their food and they wear masks. And finally, and then we'll get back to other more significant stuff instead of these letters. A man named Mario Tablecloth from the village of Housatonic, down Great Barrington Way. Mario says, Herman, when someone asks, or when someone says, there's a sucker born every minute, what does that mean? It tells you that it takes 60 seconds to make one lollipop. Yes, it's nice to have a nice little get-together with you.
Hey, 5 minutes, Herman.
Oh, thanks. 5 minutes, thanks. I'm told I have 5 more minutes. If you had just 5 minutes left, what would you do? I mean, never mind. 5 minutes is 5 minutes. I'll tell you now about a Massachusetts woman, and not just any Massachusetts woman. This one was under house arrest, and she was wearing one of those ankle bracelets under house arrest. Well, she begged to go back to jail because she said she couldn't stand living with her husband anymore. Her name, Lisa Nagelschmidt. Lisa Nagelschmidt. She was a convicted car thief and chop shop owner, Lisa, yeah. She recently had her 6-month sentence reduced on condition that she stay at home with her spouse at their Holyoke residence, see. But the 41-year-old Ms. Nagelschmidt said her husband had been constantly lecturing her about her life of crime, and he was ordering her around like a prisoner of war and telling her to clean up her room. No wonder she wanted to go back to jail. Well, after a string of vicious arguments, Ms. Nagelschmidt ran to the police headquarters and demanded to be arrested. The cops had no problem with her request, and they sent her back to the Hampton County House of Correction. And Ms. Nagelschmidt says, my cellmate makes me laugh. She has big gaps in her teeth, so her tongue looks like it's in jail, which is better than having my husband treating me like an undentured servant. I mentioned at the top that I had a lot to say, and I said it. So until next time, this is your pal, Herman Scuttle.